Welcome back! We are continuing with the Testament of Sherlock Holmes. I wanted to give a quick heads up. In this part there are some gorish images that are not for the faint of heart. Now let's continue.
You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
So now Watson. Funny. You control Dr. Watson. See, this is what I mean. Whoops. Wait. You can swap between them. I believe you have to do, later on in the game is what I remember, you have to do puzzles and then you have to do one part with Sherlock and another part with Watson simultaneously. So you have to swap between them. Nothing has changed here. Oh, I got a badge! Wait. What's this? It seems similar of all that is bizarre. You recovered the Samoy necklace. Well done. Well, apparently I did not. Now I can speak with Sherlock. Funny.
Have you found my map of London?
Nope. I've not done anything.
I have found your map.
Good boy. Let's go then. I don't know why we're going here.
The police? Already? How did you know?
May we see the Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But come in.
Why does he think we're police?
What has
This
happened,
is
Reverend?
First murder.
What?
I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just arrived, and I have made this macabre discovery. My God. How horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Holmes, look!
The Bishop, appallingly mutilated.
How dreadful.
Mutilated. And killed. He was such a good man. How could anyone be so brutal? Look at him. He is barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible for that?
They were evidently unworthy children, Reverend. Now do please try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Note this down, please, Doctor.
Doctor? But you aren't the police?
No, Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We are here at the request of the Bishop.
In that case, I must ask you to leave, and not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend, when the inspectors of Scotland Yard find themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they turn to me for
I
help.
assure you.
If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
Out of the question! I don't even know you! I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
It would be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper. Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one. Therefore, we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes, Holmes. I am keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed, it would seem that the Bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
Deduction board. Make the right deductions based on facts you have. The Bishop didn't own anything of value, not even in his safe. Alright. A lot of hourglasses, and there's something on the floor, too.
A bottle of whiskey. I can make out fingerprints stained with blood and dirt.
Yeah, that hand is very obvious on there. How could I switch between them again? I don't remember. Not like this. I want to pick that up.
A broken phial and blood near the neck.
What a strange smell. Chemical components, I think.
So like I said, I've played this before, but I really don't remember anything about why, motive, who did it, stuff like that. Can't I look at the body?
There is blood on this paperweight.
A broken bottle of whiskey. However, the Bishop of Knightsbridge was known for his sobriety. It would seem that the brutes who tortured the bishop to death were intoxicated with alcohol.
Now I can look at him. His fingers are broken.
The fingers have been crushed and violently struck.
His stomach is covered in scratches. Quite evidently, they weren't made recently.
So,
Right.
these wounds were not made by his murderers.
He's a doctor, so he knows these things, which is very handy. He also, I believe, Sherlock can ask him time of death and stuff like
His
that.
forearms have been ripped, pieces of skin have been torn off. What do you think, Watson?
I'd say that he was eaten alive.
Ew.
Yet I've noticed a curious degeneration of the skin tissue around the wounds.
The fingers have been crushed and violently struck.
He already said that. Can I move the camera or something? I don't know. Oh, whoops. Look at this or use it? And now what? Use it on what? Also, I don't understand these arrows. What
A
am I
piece of
supposed
rope
to do?
that was
Whoops.
used to tie up that poor man.
I found something. I think it was on the floor. Like I want to move this around, but I don't know how to do that. Don't know. It is green, so I didn't see everything maybe.
You can see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in blood, and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth. My dear friend, everything points to this man having gnawed at his own forearms.
That's unbelievable, Holmes.
That's weird. Did someone drug him?
His chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and fine blade.
Something in his pockets? No, I don't think so. Also, as you may have seen by now, this game is not for the faint of heart. It's a bit gorish. There's a finger here. Why can't I take that? Do I have to leave this before I can?
This stove is filled to overflowing.
I'm not done with him. Oh, here. Now I can
A
look
finger.
at it.
Apparently it doesn't belong to the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
How dreadful.
How dreadful.
These burns are terrible.
So did he walk into that thing over there that's burning?
This poor man was tied just below the knees.
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet.
What do you mean
His
by that?
feet have been burned.
My first impression is that he wears a size 9 shoe.
You! But what does it matter, Holmes? My God, Holmes, this man was horribly tortured.
Yep, that he was. So I have new deductions. Wait, I thought I had a blue hourglass, but I guess not. Magnifying glass, I mean.
Something
Right,
is
Nick?
missing here.
Oh, yes? And what might that be?
His shoes. Watson, his shoes are missing.
Well, to be fair, I did not check out the entire room yet, so how can you tell? Wait, over here, there's a lot here.
The picture of Peregrine Maitland, commander of the infantry brigade of Her Majesty's Guards at Waterloo.
The Bishop of Knightsbridge has the same name as his ancestor, an illustrious family.
Also, it's very funny that the Reverend was very stubborn, like, you have to get out of here, and then Sherlock gets angry and he's like, oh,
It's a
alright then.
cilice designed to bruise the person wearing it. The bishop wore it as repentance.
There's blood on
This
it.
metal rod is for fastening the chilice.
Is that not blood? I think it is.
A whip?
No, it is a discipline for self-flagellation. This very pious man must have had the habit of mortifying his flesh as a means of repentance.
Alright. Whatever suits you, I guess. This is a
I am
puzzle.
missing some information.
Some are missing a lot of
Impossible
information.
to open it. I am missing some
And maybe objects or something?
Reverend, I'm missing something, an implement with which to open this chest. Could you tell me where to find it?
No, go to the devil.
What are you afraid of, Reverend? What is inside the chest?
I'm not afraid of anything. In fact, I do have the necessary implements, but if I have to give them to anyone, it will be to a representative of the law and no one else.
So he's not that intimidated by me after all.
Watch where you're putting your feet, Watson. Have you noticed these prints upon the ground?
Well, yes, those muddy marks.
See here, Watson, footprints can often provide more vital information than the very best of informants.
Yes, if you know how to make them talk, that is.
The footprints.
It's child's play, Watson. We will begin by excluding the contaminating prints, which are yours and mine from where we came in, and those of our dear Reverend who was so impatient to call the police.
So he did do that. Question 1, question 2. How many criminals? What do they reveal? One man joined those who were already in the room. One man left the room wearing different shoes. One man was carried so as not to leave. All men left the room jumping on one leg. Alright.
I need something.
A measuring tape.
Size 9. Size 9.5.
So that's a different person.
Size 9.5. Size 9. Size 9. Size 9.
Alright. But this is a different
This
shoe.
print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a laborer's shoe. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. Hobnail boots like those... Hobnail boots like... Hobnail boot... A fragment of stone. Peculiar. Well-worn shoes with an odd pattern on the soles.
But are prints also in here? All men joined those who were already in the room. One man left the room wearing different shoes. One man was carried. All men left jumping on one leg. I don't know how to
I
know
need
that.
something.
I don't know. I want to see your shoes, Watson. Can I not?
What do you think, Holmes? What do you think?
No, I want to do the other thing. That's a knife. I'm just gonna
A
take that.
surgical scalpel covered in blood. There isn't any doubt. The wounds on the bishop were administered with this scalpel.
Alright.
You have no right to search here.
Alright, but the bishop has size 9. I have size 9. Because that's what Watson said. He said something like, same issue. So, to answer my own question, no, our prints are not in here. But the game does make this a bit confusing. What you have to do, first measure the shoes like I did. You will see 4 shoes are size 9 and 2 are 9.5. The top right and middle left are both 9.5 and are both laborer's boots, so they belong to the same person. So that's 1. The shoe in the middle right and the lower left are both size 9 and are also laborer's boots, so that's person number 2. The upper left and the down right are both size 9, but they are different shoes. So the only explanation is there are 3 people, but one of them left in different shoes.
Perfect. We now know that there were 3 crooks.
So then one person did change shoes.
Strange but true. One of the crooks was wearing a different pair of shoes when he left here. Therefore, we have 3 men who came in and left again, but one of them was wearing a different pair of shoes from the ones which he came in with.
So, all we have to do is look for a workman who likes Italian shoes.
All we have to do. Like, that's very, very simple. Alright. Let's look around. So I need something to do this puzzle, which that man won't give me.
This
Can I go
door has
here?
not been forced. Where does it lead, Reverend?
To His Excellency's room. There is just a mattress and a stool.
He does help me, even though he does not want to.
The bishop's bedroom. It is very austere. Nothing in particular here.
Austere. I love that language. This way?
Closed. The veranda door hasn't been forced. Strange. Reverend, might I have the key?
No! You have no authority here. Let me call the police.
Perhaps we should listen to him, Holmes.
Perhaps you should let
did.
me get on with this, Watson.
Let me.
Closed.
No, don't do that. This door then, but this is where I came from.
I cannot leave now.
Yeah, I thought he would say that. So, why don't I look at my deductions? The bishop's shoes are missing. One of the murders left in different shoes. Wearing the bishop's shoes. Didn't read the other one. That's what I think. Appor? Maybe. Well, veranda wasn't searched. Wait. Bishop didn't know anything found, not even in the safe. Veranda wasn't searched. The murders were looking for something specific. Got the wrong person. Took them by surprise. I think this one. Bishop were hired by someone. The murderers searched for the bishop's shoes. Wanted to steal. They were hired. Does that mean I'm right if it's all green? Chest. Unable to open the safe. Victim was savagely tortured. Bishop was mortifying himself. He was used to pain. Resisted torture. What does this say? Unable to upset. Got what they didn't get what they wanted.
It is evident that the Bishop of Knightsbridge's killers were after something specific, and that they did not find it. Reverend, I shall ask you one more time. Open the chest. The item they were seeking must still be inside. It is unlikely that they will let this matter rest. They will most certainly return to finish what they started.
And I'm telling you once more, the chest is locked and shall remain so.
Very well. We have reached an impasse. You are a stubborn man, Reverend. Watson, accompany our friend to the police station and return with Inspector Baines. Baines and no one else. I shall wait for you here. Go. Alone at last.
At last.
Now I can continue my investigation.
Oh, I thought it was done. Guess not. Oops. How did I do this? Did I not see everything already? Am I gonna pick the
This
lock?
lock should be easy to pick. Let's see.
That's what I thought. Sherlock tends to do that.
This lock
Alright, I need something. What do I need? This? Or the finger?
This lock should be easy to pick. Let's see.
Select. What does it need to look like? I don't know. Like this?
That's not right.
Are you not gonna explain this to me? Reset. I can move these three parts, but what does it need to look like? Oh wait, this is where the lock is. Alright, so it needs to look like this line then. Wait, so straight line, this goes down. This goes up like this.
There we are. It is simplicity itself. There isn't anything much in this room. It must be used as a reading or meditation room. An ink stain, quite fresh. This stain is just on the edge of the rug. Let's see. There is nothing on the floor, yet the ink must have soaked through the rug.
So the rug was moved then.
An ink stain.
So someone turned it around, but why?
This inkwell was tipped over recently. The ink stain on the floor comes from the ink on the rug, but they are not in the same place. Someone has moved the rug recently.
Yeah, but why is that important? Is that all that is here? Oops, someone closed the door on me. I think it is. Oh, I can do something with it.
That is curious. There is something strange on the floor. Certain stones have been marked out, just like a chessboard.
That is how I open the safe.
That is curious. I need something.
Something? What do you need? I don't know that. Am I missing something? Must be. Oh wait, there's something there. Hidden away.
Apparently, someone wanted to hide this statue. This horse resembles a large chess piece.
Luckily, Sherlock knows how to play chess.
There is a message underneath this statue. Let's see.
What a lack of imagination. Use your passion for chess. The last square on which the knight will place himself after having covered all the others will be the right one. I love you. Aren't priests supposed to be celibate? Last square on which the knight, but wasn't it a horse? Will place himself after having covered all the others.
This message was written by a woman, but for whom was it intended? Interesting, this chess game.
Do I need to play that? So it's here now. It can go into an L shape. That's the only thing it can do. But I don't know. Do I have to cover all the boxes? I don't know which way it needs to go. Do I need to fill it up completely?
That's not right. Start again.
I think I do, because now I'm stuck. Replay. So, as I said, and if you know a little chess, the horse can only move in an L pattern, which can be horizontal and vertical. The point of this puzzle is, as I say, to fill up the board completely with green squares, so touch every square with the horsey. If you've done this a few times, you will eventually get a skip button, so you can skip this puzzle if you want to. Also, you'll have a light bulb which will show you a possible move, although this did not help me very much, to be honest. It took me a few tries, but eventually I got it. I'll show you. Maybe I need to do the corners first, could be. Is this it? Might be. I think it is.
This last piece should be the good one. It will have to be pulled free. I need something.
With my knife? Yes. The Reverend's Hidden Letters. 24th of April, my love, what a beautiful spring, and what a marvelous day, our dear youngest child's birthday. Every moment is so precious as our child blossoms, and without a doubt he will soon be talking. I'm sure that his first words will be for you. He misses you so much, as do I. Are you sure you cannot get away on Sunday after Vespers? I thought that... That's it. 14th September. My darling, I know that you think I am insistent, but we absolutely must legitimize our union. We cannot live in sin all our lives. The 3rd of March. Rest assured, my dear, that I understand your position is not easy, but have you thought about ours, the children's and mine? And I cannot allow our children's future to be compromised. Think about it, my love. What is a so-called scandal next to the well-being of your family? You must become husband and wife legally to finally form a real fam. Alright.
A packet of letters addressed to the Reverend. They were written by a woman who mentions his illegitimate children. Their affair isn't official. Perfect. I have you now, my wayward Reverend.
He's also saying everything out loud. What do you mean I have you now?
Ah, Watson, you were gone a terribly long time, and Inspector Baines isn't with you.
I'm afraid not, Holmes. We were unable to find him.
Dr. Watson would not allow me to contact any inspector other than this Baines. What manners! I am a man of the church.
My dear Reverend, I notice that you are a chess lover. I trust you will excuse me, but I am never able to resist the appeal of a half-finished game.
You are an expert at chess. Very well then. What do you want now?
You want
As you
now?
might have guessed, resolving your small chess problem has allowed me to discover some very interesting letters.
Letters? What do they say?
Reverend, why hide these letters here and run the risk of the bishop finding them?
Holmes, what's in the letters?
Not now, Watson.
Where else could I have hidden them? My own chambers are too austere. They could offer no cover. I knew, however, that His Excellency, may he rest in peace, would not notice my game.
The contents of the Bishop of Knightsbridge's chest interest me greatly. Give me the elements you hold, Reverend.
Out of the question.
Corruption, blackmail, threat. I don't know. Blackmail?
I am a gentleman, and it would distress me to be obliged to pass this correspondence across to your superiors.
Holmes, I know that the end justifies the means, but allow me to express some reservations about how you are proceeding.
You say you're a gentleman, but I hear nothing but the words of a blackmailer. The stems that you are looking for are scattered about this room. Manage by yourself.
It did work though. You don't wanna.
What do you think, Holmes?
No, not you. This one. How many do I need? And also, why would he need to tell me this? But I could have not have found this by myself. Is that all?
What should we do?
No. Is this enough? I don't know. What are the rules of this game? I don't think I have
Impossible to open it.
enough. Close. There must be more. Will he say something when I find all of them?
You have won.
Evidently, as I always do. What are you able to
Always do.
tell us about the Bishop of Knightsbridge's last days? Did anyone come to visit him? Did he seem worried, anxious? Do not omit the smallest detail.
His nephew came to see him yesterday at His Excellency's request. I found this visit a little peculiar because the young man rarely visits his uncle.
Do you know why that might be? Were they on bad terms?
I don't think so. It's rather a consequence of his work. The young man is employed within the archive section of the Royal Library, which doesn't leave him with a lot of free time.
Do you know the reason for his summons?
No, but the conversation was very heated. It only lasted for a few minutes and ended with the nephew in a terrible rage.
Interesting.
I've answered your questions. Will you now let me contact the authorities?
I'm afraid not, Reverend. Not just yet. All right, now we can open the safe.
I swear to you, I did not know he was gonna say that. That was a coincidence. We can open the safe. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do they need to be in the same shape? No, they do not. Again, as with the previous puzzles, you have to try to figure out what you are supposed to do. As you may have seen by now, when you put a pin in a certain location, sometimes a different one disappears and sometimes it stays in place. So keep putting pins in until none disappear and all pins are in the board. I did a quick internet search and saw there's more than one solution. This is the pattern that worked for me.
Now I can open the chest.
That surprised me.
Here we are. I am eager to discover what remarkable treasure could justify such an act of barbarity.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary. He's always
This
so
chest is
impressed.
impenetrable. How is it possible? No one other than the bishop should be able to open it.
You
Wasn't
open the
that
chest with
complicated?
disconcerting ease, Holmes.
I've seen and heard
Disconcerting.
quite enough. This time you won't stop me.
Catch him, Watson.
What the?
But why?
Run, Watson. Hurry.
Do I have to do it? No. Thank God.
He's escaped. I hope that your motivations are founded, Holmes. I don't much like skirting around the edges of the law like this.
It is annoying. Let's leave without delay.
It's
What
annoying.
have you found in the chest, Holmes? What in there is so precious for these men to commit such terrible acts?
The Reverend was telling the truth. Nothing important was locked inside the chest, apart from a few religious items which are hardly worth stealing.
So, we haven't made any headway. Perhaps the police will.
By the time the police arrive, we shall be a long way from here, Watson. We are leaving.
What should
Alright.
we do next, Holmes?
Let us return to Baker Street as quickly as possible.
Can I just go on my map? Where is it? No, I cannot. Oh, I can.
We have crossed London at a breakneck speed. We could have knocked someone over, and naturally I had to pay the cabbie out of my own pocket.
Watson, stop complaining.
Stop
We have to
complaining.
analyze the clues found at the bishop's house.
Alrighty. This is my... they don't explain this either, but I remember it from the games I've played. This is where you can do experiments and stuff.
I can analyze the chemical
it does
composition of
explain
a
it.
substance here.
So it's kind of like CSI, but back in time. Analyze the clues. Let's start with the gross finger, why not? Ew. Whoops.
I can see something.
What do you need?
Black and damp earth under the nail. Interesting.
What about those teeth
Tooth marks, rather deep ones. I'd say of incisors and a canine. Fragments of skin, a phalanx. This finger wasn't cut off, it was ripped off.
Gross. Is that it?
I can see something. I can't do that.
What do
I haven't finished my analysis.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. No.
I can see something.
Yeah, but what do I need to do with that? I don't know. Brush?
I can't.
No.
Bite marks on this severed finger. I am afraid of the significance.
The thieves didn't get what they wanted. When they were faced with the bishop's refusal to cooperate, one of the gang shook his finger at him to indicate that he was responsible for his unfortunate state.
And the poor man, whose head was the only part of him not bound by ropes, bit the finger violently enough to sever it. An uncommonly savage act.
Watson, I am certain that when we have explained the reasons behind this sudden bestiality, we will have revealed a larger part of the mystery.
Alrighty.
There is something written on this scalpel. I should clean it.
I can see it. H and a W. Water. Don't I need water? Do I need to put something in the water? I don't know. Take, use. Oh,
I can't do that. I can't.
I did it wrong.
Ah, I can make out WCCH. What do the initials stand for?
I don't know.
How many hospitals are there in the Whitechapel area, Watson?
Whitechapel.
If we count public dispensaries, enough to keep us busy for an entire month. Did this scalpel come from a hospital?
Yes, as the initials WCCH engraved upon it show us. We must think on how best to deal with this. We do not have the time to investigate every hospital in Whitechapel.
True that. Nor do we want to.
I have cut a small piece off the rope. That should be enough.
I can see little rocks.
This rope is only worn on one side.
Do I need this? Pincers?
A lot of fragments of black stone are wedged into this rope. Their color seems unnatural, but they are too small for me to examine them.
Alrighty.
Black and damp earth. I must compare the samples of earth that I found. I must
All
compare
right.
the... And if
Yeah.
I mix this earth with another substance,
Wanted to say, heard you the first time.
now it must all be stirred.
Stirred. But with what? The brush?
I can't do...
No. This?
The samples of earth taken from beneath the fingernail and from the ropes originate from the same place.
How do you know?
It took just a little water to analyze the consistency. The soil has retained its moisture, even though there hasn't been rain in London for over a week.
This
it's from
soil
somewhere
could
else.
come from the bank of a river, or somewhere where the evaporation is slower. A mine, perhaps, or a trench.
Smart thinking.
The banks of the Thames are clay soil, unlike our samples, so we can rule that out. The nearest mines are 12 miles away, so I would rule that out also. I would therefore conclude your last theory to be nearer the mark.
A trench?
A pit.
I'm glad Watson is smart
This
too.
fragment of stone is very smooth, and it seems to be of a peculiar quality. I shall have to strip it with one of my products.
What does that mean? Products. The scalpel?
I can't do that.
What do you mean strip?
This stone appears to be the...
Whoops.
I can see something.
I cut you off. I didn't know what I wanted to put it back and then he stopped talking apparently. Sorry.
This stone is granite, covered in black paint. The fragments found in the rope and this piece of granite come from the same place. Watson, bring me your register of the London hospitals.
Studying the scalpel has given you an idea, then?
Indeed.
I'll get it.
You control Dr. Watson. But I still wanted to do that other thing. I can do that now.
The work table, where Holmes analyzes things.
Yeah, what's he doing now? Could speak with him? I don't really know how to look at that other thing. I like this.
Holmes's homemade analyzer.
Have you found your book?
Nope. I'll go now. What's my doggy, by the way? Don't they have... See, Toby. What is he? I love that doggy. A map of hospitals. Where would that be? I don't know. I can leave.
Have you found your book?
No, apparently not. What's this? The Marquess's fake necklace. Another headline. At the moment of writing these lines, the famous Samoan necklace belonging to the Marquess of Cunningham has still not been recovered. Our editorial staff remain reserved as to the role that the famous detective Sherlock Holmes has played in the affair, but this is not the first time that Mr. Holmes has compromised himself during the course of one of his so-called investigations. What do you mean? They are real investigations. I always solve them. When recalling the second Stain case, the affair is indeed strangely similar to the Marquess of Cunningham's necklace misfortune. That must be in one of the previous games. Indeed, Mr. Trelawney Hope, Secretary of State for European Affairs, had a document of extreme value in his safe box, which had been stolen but a few days earlier. Who, if not Sherlock Holmes, could have replaced the document in Mr. Hope's safe? What was the point of the trick? That is a very good question. It was evident that Sherlock Holmes knew the identity of the person blackmailing the gentleman's wife, Lady Hilda Trelawney Hope, guilty of a love affair with another man. The sinister blackmailer, a certain Lucas, had a letter that revealed Lady Trelawney Hope's double life. He wanted the Secretary of State's wife to give him the precious document belonging to her husband in exchange for the love letter. She obeyed him. I'm sorry, but are news articles always this long, or is this just because this is in the 1800s and in that time they were? Because I can't imagine anyone reading this in the current day and age when they're this lengthy. But then Lucas was found murdered, and Mr. Holmes managed to find the compromising letter without any difficulty on the crime scene, after it had been meticulously searched by the police. Does it not strike you as strange? Mr. Holmes knew where the hiding place was without any doubt. That's because he's smart. As to the motive for the murder, no need to ask who might profit from the crime. Eradicate a cumbersome accomplice and thus appear as a hero in the eyes of the authorities. Evidently, the transcription of the affair undertaken by Mr. Holmes' friend, Dr. Watson, gives another explanation entirely. But is he truly objective? We may allow ourselves a little doubt on that score. Oh, Farley, again.
Read the paper, Holmes. And this is how my dear friend and colleague treats his clients' letters.
Or maybe they are not that important. So another newspaper article. But does this guy do nothing but write articles constantly? Because it hasn't been that long since we've read the previous one, right? I don't know where to find those hospital thingies. Locations, whatever. Do I need to go into a room? Don't know whose room this is. I'm always confused. But this is Sherlock's home because here are the costumes. She changes into, and this violin. I don't know if it's this game where you also have to change costumes. The other games you for certain have to.
This bust was used to fool Colonel Moran during the case of the empty house.
Must be in the previous game as well. Like I can remember, you have to infiltrate a bandit lair. You have to dress up as a bandit, or they won't let you in. I think that's in Crimes and Punishments. Could be the Devil's Daughter. Don't remember. Oh, there's a lot here. Wait, how did I miss all this? I want to look at this.
The harpoon that was used to kill Black Peter. A horrible murder.
Black Peter. Wait, is this after Crimes and Punishments? I thought it was before. I remember that harpoon.
Female anatomy. I should put this book somewhere else.
Dr. Watson.
Hospitals and dispensaries in London. I have found my book, Holmes.
Good. Put it on the work table, will you?
Somewhere else, do you mean under your bed?
General practitioner. That won't be of any use to me.
Let's see. I think I checked out everything. Yes. Give it to me, you said, right?
I have found my book, Holmes.
Good. Put it on the work table,
Put
will
it
you?
on the work table. Alright.
I have found...
Good.
What is the work table? I don't know. Is it this? Apparently not. What is your work table? Isn't this your work table?
I have found...
Good.
Oh wait, I need to maybe do it like this. Yes.
Here is the section showing Whitechapel. I made several notations on these pages during our investigation into the Ripper, which might prove useful. All we need to do is to find a hospital or a public dispensary near a location where pits have been dug and black granite has been used.
It's simplicity itself.
Doesn't
I
sound
haven't
simple to
finished
me.
my analysis.
You're standing up. I'm not doing that. Also, they reference a lot of previous cases. He just referenced Sherlock versus the Ripper. What's it called? Is it called that maybe differently? I also really want to play that game because I've read online that I've never played it and that it's a real good one.
I need something.
Investigation into Whitechapel Dispensary. So I will play that because I also have it. Don't know when, and I don't know when I will post it. The rope is worn only on one side. So the rope was manufactured with one side. The rope is always used from the same side. The rope is used near water and it has rotted. I think one of these two. I'm not sure. The damp earth brought in by the Bishop of Knightsbridge Killers. Sourced from a pit, from a well. Well, I already said that. It's from a pit. The fragment of granite painted black comes from a monument painted black, from a painted rock, granite wall painted black. I don't know. Wait, let's go back.
I haven't finished
Oops.
my analysis.
So, the rope is worn only on one side, the damp earth brought in by the bishop. The soil is from a pit, this I know for sure. The rope is always used from the same side. What does that give me? Tying up boats, in a well, blow something into a pit. That could be. Earth and fragment of granite come from a building, from a pit near a monument. Could that be it? Come from a grave, a building undergoing repairs, tombstone factory. I don't know for sure. It's near Tombstone Factory. It's near a construction site. That's not right. Monument, maybe? Near a monument.
Now I can make the right decision.
I did it. I can make the right decision. What do you mean? Do I have to quit?
I haven't finished my analysis.
But what do I need to do then? Oh, okay. Dispensary near a memorial, near a cemetery, Tombstone Factory. This one? Choose. Do I need to choose
The
more?
public dispensary number 4661. It's just opposite the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
Yes, Watson. The murderer with the missing finger must work in the cemetery, or at least visit it. He could have taken a rope, one of the type they use to lower the coffins into the graves. The granite is minute particles of tombstone.
And he only had to cross the road to steal a scalpel from the dispensary opposite.
Alrighty. Let's check out
I need
this.
something.
I don't know what you need. A knife? This? To analyze the evidence, add liquid from the test tube. Use all active agents. Wait, that was too fast. To work out all of its characteristics. So this is the one I want to know. This is what I have. So I would know. I don't know what to do. Use. And now what? Two green. Wait, that was too fast. Can you do this? Two green, one blue. So it's one this, one this. This one. Three, two. Now what?
Poison, and apparently very virulent.
Why did I find that? Oh, it was in his glass. Results of the analysis of the poison administered to the Bishop of Knightsbridge, a substance that provokes a heightened aggression close to madness, death by cardiac arrest. So his heart stopped.
Poison, discreet, efficient, and only detectable via a thorough post-mortem.
Have you been able to isolate the active components, Holmes?
Not with any certainty. This toxic substance surpasses my own knowledge in the field. It is without doubt the work of an expert chemist.
A chemist
thickens.
and a criminal.
As you say, please find my monograph on poisoners of the last 30 years.
Monograph, I don't even know what it is. It's probably in one of the bookcases, right? But where? Not over here, no. Maybe, but this is my room. Can't be there.
Here is where I write my stories about Holmes's cases.
And I've got work to do.
And I've got work to do.
I've got a badge, but how do I access them? Alright, like this. This one. Holmesian. I was sure that I might rely on you. You found all the items from my past adventures. Did I? And this one is no safecracker. You would make a highly efficient criminal. When did I get that? Well, that was easy enough then. Can't read this article now. But why is this typewriter from a previous case? Did he get that in a case? I don't know. What did he say? I forgot. Oh, it's over here. Fire number 452, Hans Schielman, aka the Regular. Scotland Yard, German, sentence life. Found guilty of the following charges: poisoning, attempted poisoning, theft and receiving chemical substances, murder and attempted murder, that's a lot, kidnapping with aggravated circumstances, cruelty to animals, hit and run, illegal use of chemicals, manipulation of the weak, drunk in charge. History and description of the individual. Despite numerous mental problems and neurosis, Hans Schielman is an exceptional chemist and an equally remarkable mathematician. At the age of 21, his unstable and violent character resulted in his expulsion from the University of Vienna, where he had excelled in his chosen subjects. After being expelled, he was not heard of again for 4 years. He was captured and arrested in June 1864 during the case number blah blah, the Stuttgart poisoning, in which he was the principal suspect. He escaped before being sentenced and vanished again. A number of elements suggested that he had found refuge in London. An investigation undertaken by Scotland Yard found him living under the stolen identity of one Leonardo Itizia. However, the officers who came to arrest him were poisoned and he escaped once again. Our informers picked up his trail again in 1880 at an ancient factory converted into a clandestine chemical laboratory. I always want to say laboratory. Schielman was absent during the search. From the documents found inside the laboratory, we learned he had a diabolical plan in mind. His goal was to poison the drinking water reservoirs in several parts of the city. Is this also from a previous game? To this day, his motive remains unclear. His arrest on the 5th of May 1888 was due entirely to chance. He was recognized by a police officer while stumbling around in a state of inebriation, shouting of his intention to poison the entire city. Yeah, that will do it. None of the interrogations following his arrest have provided any conclusive information. Hans Schielman broke his silence only with incoherent comments. Do I need to go speak to him? I would imagine that if it's here that Sherlock would have got him, but maybe not.
According to these documents, Hans Schielman, known as the Rat Killer, was considered the greatest specialist in chemical poison in the world.
In the world?
Is he at liberty?
Happily, no. He has been held in the high-security wing of London's Westgate prison for many years now.
Then he cannot be the one who concocted the poison.
Don't dismiss him too quickly, Watson. According to Scotland Yard, the man is exceptionally intelligent. For the greatest criminals, prison is but a mere obstacle. Let's plan a little visit to see Mr. Schielman tomorrow.
That's what I thought, and at the very least, he can maybe tell us more about the poisoning. If he didn't do it.
Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
Oh, did I need to do that? I didn't even see that. Whoops, how does this work? Deduction Knightsbridge. So I did this. This is new. Bishop. The bishop gnawed at himself. Finger. Tore his aggressor's finger off with his teeth. Went mad. I think he was poisoned and went mad. Flask. Some blood at its top. Between the contents. Torch. No, I think this. Poison. The flask contains a poison that causes madness. And the poison that causes madness are lunatics. Are vampires! Yes, that's it. No, it's this.
Perfect. Well done, Watson. Our board is finished. It confirms that the bishop's murderers work for one person, who, amongst other things, possesses a very sophisticated poison. They therefore act for someone more educated than themselves.
Most of the time.
You remember Wiggins and his gang, the Baker Street Irregulars?
Yes, the street urchins, whom you employ upon occasion, and Wiggins is their leader.
Yes. Well, I have hired their services again. I have instructed them to find out the address of the bishop's nephew.
Nephew?
I think he's here.
Well, someone is.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, my young friend, have you found the information for which the good Dr. Watson is going to
That
pay?
head?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, it was easy.
It's my head.
Very well, I understand. Here are a few pennies.
Thanks, Dr. Watson. The man you're looking for lives near Kensington.
Does he live alone?
Yes, but he rents a room for an old lady.
Did she see you?
No, Mr. Holmes, no one saw me.
Perfect. Watson, give our young friend another shilling as a reward for his discretion.
Here we go again. But of course,
Is Sherlock a little cheap, maybe?
I'm falling asleep, Holmes. Aren't you tired?
No, I have an exceptional constitution. I can't remember ever having been fatigued by work. Idleness, on the other hand, exhausts me completely. Go to bed, Watson. The night will be short. We leave at dawn.
Did you like this video? Check out my other videos on my page Fun with Miko and don't forget to subscribe.